And welcome back to WTL, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
The Parlay Pounder.
Yes, sir. We're back.
Hey, man, we had a good weekend.
Not bad.
Little all-star game, home run derby, Major League Baseball.
It's really fun, even when games aren't being played. It's still one of the funnest weekends of baseball of the year. I love the home run derby. It's just so much fun to watch.
And that's another thing where, people, the sharps out there.
Yeah.
Who wants to bet on exhibition? Who wants to bet on? Well, stay within your budget, like we always say.
Exactly.
Stay within your bankroll and have fun with it.
It's just a fun thing to bet on. How far is a guy going to hit a home run? Is he going to hit it 480? Is he going to hit it 500? It's just a fun thing to bet on. Throw a $20 bill on it and see if Pete Alonso can hit it 500 feet.
He was trying.
He didn't get it, but yeah, that was one of the only ones I missed on the home run derby. Was a ball never traveled more than 491 feet.
Yeah, and that was one of the most popular bets out there.
It
was at 491, 492 over under.
It was just because Juan Soto last year in Colorado hit one 520, so we're like 491. You can do it. Obviously, Colorado's a lot different than Los Angeles.
It was a little heavier there around L.A. coming off the bay there, not quite, or the ocean air there, not like up in the Rocky Mountains.
No
I guess.
doubt about it.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the All-Star Game, kind of a wrap up here, recap, if you will, home run derby, a little bit of a recap. Then we're gonna look ahead to some adjusted win totals, a lot of movement, especially in the American League. We're also gonna hit up some teams, local teams, the Cardinals, the Rockies on the National League side. Then, of course, your wheelhouse, UFC Fight Night.
We got a good fight night coming up, man.
Headlined by Blades versus Aspinall.
Yep. So and Patty the Baddie's coming back.
Where are they coming with? Patty the Baddie. He's like, no, I signed off on that. That's me.
That's my name. Yep. No, it's good.
All right, so let's dive right into the home run derby. What a spectacle. I don't know.
It was wild.
People call it, the Grouches out there.
Yeah.
It's a glorified batting practice, but man, it's grown into so much more than that. There's so much fun, and there's just watch Pete Alonso. That became a running joke in itself, but he takes it serious.
He takes it serious. And like they keep, like even the guy that was batting against him, he would be out there batting, and Pete Alonso would be in the locker room in a trance. Like he was just like he wanted to win that thing so bad, and
he wanted the three-peat.
The Pete wanted the three-peat. But let's talk about this kid Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners.
Oh, wow!
Oh my God! Comes out in the first round, hits 32, I think, and then comes out in the second round against Pete Alonso, hits 32 again or 31.
Right.
He was just unbelievable. Right around 30 both times.
Yep.
I think he did kind of, quote unquote, shoot his load there.
Right.
He still did good in the third round, and Juan had a hard time catching him. But
he made him sweat.
But this kid, he's a rookie. He made more that night than he makes in his whole entire rookie season for getting second in the home run derby. So good for him.
On that rookie contract in Seattle.
Exactly. And we're going to see this guy again because Seattle's hosting the home run derby next year. So he's going to be in it, and that was so much fun to watch him do that.
Really was fun. That was a great storyline. Also, Pujols beating Schwarber. I mean,
crazy.
That was insane.
It was.
It almost felt a little too scripted. Like how can you be romantic about baseball? I was like,
exactly.
How romantic are we going to get here?
Exactly. Just with the first half that Schwarber's had, not knocking the ball out of the park. He's the #1 seed for a reason. Yeah. But he just couldn't get a flow going there, and neither could Pujols really. But when it came down to it, Pujols took him out and
scattered enough.
Yeah, he scattered enough. And
they weren't deep either. Like that's what got him in the later rounds. Like you get a bonus for the distance. Yeah. And he just couldn't get one over.
No doubt. And one of my biggest bets of the night was the National League winning the home run derby, and thank God Juan Soto pulled that off for me. And then Pete Alonso, he had a prop on him that said 468 or something was the over-under on his home run, which I cashed in on that too.
Yeah, and if you piece that together, that's a nice little parlay. And I believe our Twitter handle actually put that out there. Kind of going back and forth. There's some other, betting Twitter handles.
No doubt.
And like, this is what we're looking at.
This is what we're looking at.
Hey, and they both hit, so you got to feel good about that.
No doubt about it. I love it. Like you said, don't break the bank with it, but get on Prize Picks, get on DraftKings, and just have fun with it.
So let's move on to the actual game itself. Fun if you're a baseball guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good baseball game.
Yeah.
And that is something that Major League Baseball holds over the NBA, holds over the NFL.
Yeah.
Their exhibition all-star game actually resembles a real game. It is a real game.
It is.
Even though they took off, off the plate the hosting the first round or opening game of the World Series.
Yep.
That's fine. This is still a real game where you're seeing the best pitchers versus the best hitters.
Yeah. No, period. And just, it's crazy because these guys have egos.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw doesn't want to go out there and give up a home run. Neither does the starting pitcher that comes in the third inning, the guy that comes in the fifth inning. They don't want to do this, but they're playing against the best hitters versus best pitchers, which you already alluded to.
Yeah.
I really thought the National League was going to kind of mop up with them just because I thought they had the better pitching.
Yeah.
But Giancarlo Stanton, freaking juggernaut, knocks one out, and then my boy from the Minnesota Twins, Buxton, kind of comes.
I knew you were going to get to that.
Yep, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Back-to-back Jacks.
Back-to-back Jacks. No, that was a lot of fun to watch. Not a lot of small ball going on in the All-Star game, but
I thought it was a good microcosm of how the league's actually geared now. It's either a flame-throwing fastball strikeout or it's a 119-mile exit velocity home run. And the National League looked pretty good there in the first inning there.
For sure.
Paul Goldschmidt hit a dinger. They're up. 2-0.
Yep.
But then that fourth inning rolled around and some fireworks for the American League. You talked about it. Carlos Stanton, 2-run homer, followed up with Buxton getting one as well. And that was enough, 3-2. And that leads me right into one of the bets I felt best about, and that was that under.
Yeah.
And everything you looked at trend-wise was saying hit that under. And it actually got bet down from 8 earlier in the day down to 7.5 in most books.
Right.
And it's still cleared by a long ways.
No doubt.
Total was 5, 3-2. So that means the unders, last 16 years, the unders have hit 13, 2, and 1. And I saw something else. It was in National League parks.
Yeah.
Unders have hit like 8 of the last 9. Something like that. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
But just 13, 2, and 1 overall tells you enough, for me anyway.
For sure.
And I think that goes back to what you were saying. Good pitching shuts down good hitting.
No doubt about it.
And most of these hitters only face that pitcher one time.
Exactly.
That is it.
Exactly.
And a lot of these hitters only get one crack at it.
Well, Dusty Baker, who was the American League coach, said he hadn't even seen the pitcher that started for the American League yet. He hadn't even played him, and they're in the same league. So, like you said, not a lot of people have seen these guys, or let alone play with them. And like I knew that Byron Buxton and a couple other guys said it was so fun to watch Shohei Ohtani pitch because they hadn't really seen him pitch yet, which was just kind of crazy to me, even being from the American League.
Right.
But like you said, with the lineup that these pitchers have going deep into innings, these are starters that only have to go one inning.
Yeah.
So they're throwing the 15 hardest balls that they can and placing them
98,
fresh.
98, 99.
As fresh as they can. So, no, it's one of those games that people go into it feeling like it's going to be an over game, and that's why those numbers stagger so much.
Coming off the home run derby.
Exactly. Yeah. And they get people. That's how they get people. People go into that 8 runs. They'll have 8 runs in the first inning.
Right.
No, they're not, because these pitchers are so good and they're so controlled because they only have to do it for 1 inning.
Diamondbacks, Oakland, they covered 13 the night before.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, okay, we get that, but that's, once again, there's not much pitching going on there.
There is no pitching in the Diamondbacks in Oakland Athletics.
So I'll tell you what, that's going to be something that I'm going to keep in my back pocket, though, the unders.
Every year.
And also the American League. Let's talk about it. I mean, that's like the elephant in the room. Winner of the 9th straight.
Yeah.
Okay. 16 of last 19 All-Star games have gone the way of the American League. And what more could you want? This was in a National League park.
Yep.
It appeared that they had the better staff.
Yep.
Starters up and down.
It did.
Better ERA. You're in your home park. You had Kershaw starting.
Yeah, you have Mookie. You have
got off to a great start.
Right. You have
Paul
Freddie
Goldschmidt.
Freeman.
Yeah. Like what is going on? Why can't the National League? Do you have a theory on this? Like, why can't the National League get right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just kind of a spooky voodoo kind of thing. Can't beat the Yankees in the All-Star game kind of thing. I don't know if it's like that, but maybe the Bronx Bombers put a little fear into him or something like that.
And okay, so Carlos Stanton did win the MVP.
Yep, Giancarlo.
And he's only the 3rd Yankee to do so.
Yeah, I thought that
shocking?
was weird. I thought that was really weird.
You figured like Babe Ruth would have 3 alone, or Mickey Mantle would have 2.
Right.
Just him alone.
Yeah, no doubt.
Whitey Ford, all those guys. Like, it's just crazy. And then I'm not even talking about the 90s guys.
Yeah, exactly. Jeter and
Jeter got one.
Posada and all those guys.
Jeter got one, and Rivera is the other. Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
So those are the only 3 Yankees with All-Star Game MVPs. It's kind of just a bizarre
crazy
stat,
to
if you ask me.
Crazy to me.
What do they got, like 2,700 World League titles, World Series titles.
The most, for sure.
I think it's 27, 28, but who cares? It's the Yankees.
Yep.
So do we want to dive into these adjusted win totals? Because there has been some movements, and I know you got a little bit of a you're leaning towards your Twinkies here, the Twins. Sure. You like what's going on there. New line has been set after the All-Star break here at an over-under of 84 total wins. What do you make of it?
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite bet, and it's not just because I'm a Twins fan, but also because I watch the Twins every single day. So it's not just because I'm a fan; it's because I actually follow this baseball team. And right now, they're sitting at 50 wins. And they only have to make it to 84. They have 68 games remaining on their schedule, so they only have to win 34 of the 68 to make it to that number, which I really think they will. I think they're going to add some pitching here in the back end through free agency, which will make the staff better. And they are going to have to push if they're still going to be ahead of the White Sox and the Guardians here at the end of the season. So my best bet of all these 5 teams that we're going to start talking about is the Minnesota Twins over 84 wins, which I think is going to hit.
It almost feels like they're disrespecting the Twins here, setting it so low at 84.
I really do believe that they are, but this is a team that came in with a lower win total on the year.
Yeah, 60.
Something like that. They had a terrible year last year, and I think that they just think the wheels are going to fall off for the Twins. But like I said, I watch the Twins every year, every game. Byron Buxton's as healthy as he's going to be. He's sitting out a lot more games.
Look at the All-Star game.
Right. He's going to be there. We got a whole bunch of young people that can come in and fill those spots on those day off. Luis Ariz is literally going to win the batting championship. He's running away with it, sitting, almost 20 points ahead of the next guy.
So you don't think they're going to take the foot off the gas and try and, rest these guys? Buxton, he's so fragile, for lack of a better term. You don't think they're going to put him on the shelf, and you don't think the White Sox will let him
to
win the Central?
They're going to rest him. They are going to rest him, but I'm just saying they only have to win half of their games to make this. I really think they're going to push this probably to 40 to 45 games that they're going to win in the back half, playing against the American League Central, which is literally the worst division in baseball, with the Royals, Detroit, and the White Sox and Guardians not playing up to the standard that they usually do.
Guardians, who are they?
They're not Chief Wahoo anymore.
No, I like that, and you make a lot of good points there. I almost feel like they're overlooking the Twins at that 84 spot.
For sure.
And they're probably just spooked because it was already at such a low. They're already moving it like over 20 games.
Exactly.
And you don't want to. You really don't want to do that. You really don't want to make that move as much. Let's move on to the Yankees here, because this has skyrocketed.
No doubt.
The line you just gave me, 105.5.
Yeah.
I looked at one earlier today. It was at 102. So that tells me that it's probably going to just keep moving up, and probably for good reason. Aaron Judge's probably the front runner for MVP.
No doubt.
Having a heck of a season.
Giancarlo as well.
Yeah,
Murderer's Row in Yankeeville right now. It's revived. They are the Bronx Bombers. They got 4 or 5 guys that can hit over 30 to 40 home runs.
It's unfair.
And the pitching is really what's turned around for the Yankees this year. I think they got 3 guys with over 9 wins going into the All-Star break, which is really crazy.
Throwing gas.
And they got a backup closer from Chapman. When Chapman got hurt, they brought this young kid in, and he's been on fire.
Yeah, so Chapman's going to have to work his way back.
Exactly. One of the hardest gas throwers of all time probably is going to have to make his way back there.
Yeah.
And if this kid doesn't slip up, who knows?
And I've already seen a few of the hot names that's entering into free agency. It looks like the Angels are going to unload. So Syndergaard, I believe, is one of the guys that, not having the best season, but he's been there. He's won in the postseason, and the Yankees we'll take him.
We'll throw it on there.
Whatever. Just add to the luxury tax that we're already paying into. So, but I don't like that 105.5. I really don't. I feel that's getting guys excited.
A little inflated?
Yeah, I really do. The 102 I'm a little bit better with. If I could have got in on it a little earlier when that started to rise, when that left the 90, 87 win total and started going up, if I could have got somewhere in there. But I don't like the 105. It's a good division.
Yeah.
The American League, you just saw it.
No doubt about it.
There's not a lot of nights off in the
Exactly.
American League, especially in the East and your division there, Central.
For sure.
So I don't like the 105.5. Where are you sitting on that?
Okay, the whole thing about this, Andy, is just what you were alluding to, that this division top to bottom is probably one of the best, with the Rays, Toronto, and and Boston, all trying
Rays might win the division.
They're all trying to get into a wild card. And we're not even talking about the Baltimore Orioles that went on a streak of just crazy.
Where'd that come from?
They finally got back to 500, and they're not out of this thing. They're only 2 games sitting behind the Boston Red Sox of now. So this is going to be a way more competitive division than, let's say, the American League Central. But the whole thing with the Yankees is that they only lost 12 games at home in the front half, which I just think is absolutely nuts. If you go top to bottom, that is definitely the best across the board. But they play well in Yankee Stadium, and man.
Can you replicate that, though? Is that sustainable? I just don't think that's sustainable, just only dropping 12 games at home, especially in this division where all of a sudden Baltimore is a contender now.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the laughingstock. They were a joke, especially the first couple of weeks. You know, going into the season. Don't they have like 2 or 3 players alone have a higher payroll than Baltimore?
Yeah,
something like that. You know,
like 2 players on the Yankees take up the entire salary for the Baltimore Orioles.
Man,
it is. I think it is a little high. Like you were saying, I would like it at 99 to 100. That's where I would max them out at. But I don't feel it's a bad bet.
Okay.
I don't feel it's a bad bet because I just think the Yankees do have the bombers and do have the arms to keep this kind of rolling.
Well, I'm going to stay away from it. I don't like it at all. Let's move into the National League here. St. Louis Cardinals, 86.
This is one that I do feel is very undervalued. I like the 86.
That's a line that moved a lot, though. It's just like the Twins. They had a low total going into the season. They weren't expected to do as good as they are. And I think it just has cappers and bookies, not scared, but reluctant to move that line further than, past 86.
No doubt about it.
They're trusting their model right now.
They're at 50 wins, so all they have to do is win 36 of their last 70 games.
Sounds doable.
And they are in the hunt. They are only a half game back of the Brewers right now, and you know that St. Louis wants to win this division.
Oh yeah,
they're top to bottom, the scariest team in the division. I think the Brewers kind of will slip up here in the back end of the season, and I really like the St. Louis Cardinals to come out of this division. And if they are going to come out of this division, they're going to have more than 86 wins.
I mean, if history repeats itself, and it does, especially in the National League Central.
Yes,
you're exactly right. Milwaukee is going to stumble. Cards will rise to the occasion, and you should be good at that 86 spot.
And like you were saying a little bit earlier, they got the bats.
They got Goldschmidt. Paul.
They got Arenado. Frickin' Pujols is, when he plays, and Yachty's still got it too. So, no, I like their lineup top to bottom. Those 2 bangers in the middle of that lineup really scare people, and I really think they'll win the division, and if they do win the division, they'll have way more wins than 86.
So, if you're thinking they're going to – and that's a nice little parlay you could piece together there. Hit that over and then have them winning the division if that's the way you feel. And we're surrounded by a lot of Cardinal fans, so we'll probably see a little bit of that action.
No doubt.
Flying. We'll see in the National League here. Heading out west, sucker. Colorado Rockies, 71.5. You're going to get the juice. You're going to get the juice with that half game.
You are. God, I just cannot get behind the Rockies.
That's all I had to hear.
Gosh darn it. I really like to cheer for them. Being a close team and being, right there in Denver. It's one of the funnest ballparks to be in.
It is fun.
Man, I really do not see them winning 30 games in the back end of this season.
You reminded me of Paul Abdul. What was that show? American
Idol.
American Idol, where the singer would just do terrible.
I think you're great.
Yeah. Oh, you look so pretty. I love your dress.
Yeah.
You're like, well, the Rockies. Denver's a nice city. It's a fun ballpark.
It is. Yeah. I'll give you a couple reasons why I don't like them. They're playing the Dodgers. They're playing the Padres. They're playing the Giants. Day to day, they are not going to run off a lot of wins, and they'll probably have to play the likes of the Phillies, the Cardinals, the Brewers. I just don't see them winning a lot of games in the back end here.
And what's kind of scary is the Dodgers, I don't know if they can get any better.
No.
But they'll try to.
Yeah.
And the Padres can. They probably will add an arm or two. So there's a little bit more fuel for your fire. Yeah.
And we alluded to this last week that they will be getting healthy because they need to make a push to get into this wild card as well. So I just don't see them winning more than that. getting those 30 wins, especially against the likes of the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants.
That's a tall order there in Denver.
So I would go under on the 71.5 on the Colorado Rockies.
Well, I mean, you've been hammering the over, so you got to get an under in there every once in a while.
I think I got a couple. I have one more under that I'm going to hit here pretty soon.
And I'm thinking we're going to head back to the American League. The Kansas City Royals has been adjusted.
Kansas City Royals.
67 is the over-under here.
Yeah. So that means that they have to win 31 games in the back half.
It doesn't sound like that much.
It doesn't, but they've only won 36, and they had a lot more chances to do it in the first half. I really don't see this. I think I know why it's set that way, because they think that the American League Central is going to drop a lot of games to them in the back end of this season,
well, especially
with teams that are going to give up. But in my mind, the Royals already have given up, so why would they try and win 31 games?
Yeah, and they might actually unload a couple arms here or there. You know,
if they had anybody to unload, they might. Nothing comes to mind to me, though.
Well, I was listening to some Kansas City sports talk radio, and they're just scared to death about Bobby Witt Jr. being on the trading block, and they're like, we cannot let that happen.
They can't do that.
If those rumors are circling, though, that means Kansas City's gearing up to unload, right? Get rid of some guys, and if that's
probably
the fear,
probably like Hunter Dozier or Nicky Lopez and people like that, but those guys aren't going to be big market guys. They'll definitely be pieces somewhere or whatever, but I really don't see this team winning 31 more games, especially when there's teams like the Minnesota Twins, Guardians, and White Sox fighting for playoff spots, playing them day in, day out.
Yep, and you kind of made a little side point there that I want to circle back to there, and it's about teams getting better, teams getting worse, and that's why you don't like the Royals getting to this spot, because they're probably going to unload and get worse.
Yeah,
we're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen.
For sure,
we've had him on the show before.
No
Great
doubt.
guy, but he's so far off base on this one bet, and you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah,
the Oakland Athletics. He said he's been fading them all year, and it's been working for him, so he's going to fade him again tonight. That's not a good bet. Oakland is not going to be one of these teams that's going to unload. They've already unloaded.
Right.
There's nothing more that
multiple years in a row they've unloaded.
They have nothing to trade. So I think that if anything, they're going to have a better second half of the season compared to the first. So Jimmy, if you're listening, and I know you are, I'm telling you right now, stop fading the A's, because they're going to get better versus getting worse. And I might sound like a Canseco kid holdover.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm wearing it.
I'll give you just a couple stats on your Oakland A's, Andy, because I knew you were going to bring this up. They have one of the lowest win totals adjusted here at 59.5.
There we go.
That means that they only have to win 27 games in the back end of the season here. I really think they can do it.
I do too.
I do.
If Seattle can win 14 games in a row, I mean, in a row,
they're still. Give
me a break.
Yep. The only thing that counts against you in that is that they are in Seattle's division. They are in the Astros division.
But Seattle's the only one way they can go, and that is down.
That's true.
Down.
That's true. No, I do like the Oakland A's to make that 59.5. That's so.
There we go.
That's so low and hurtful. That's so hurtful to put them at that number.
I know we're talking about throwing shit at the Twins at 84. My Oakland Athletics at 59. Oh, my God.
Yep. It has to happen some years.
I think we covered all the over-unders that we're looking at. Adjusted win totals there. A little all-star game recap. Home Run Derby was so much fun. Hey, let's take a minute here to recognize our sponsor. Once again, that is the Nebraska Brewing Company, and they threw a little bit of their Hefeweizen, the EOS Hefeweizen. Let's take a look at it here. It's a Bavarian-style beer that delivers a medium body and a huge banana-like aroma that creates a wonderfully drinkable, unlike many other Hefs out there.
For sure.
World class in every glass.
No doubt.
That's the Nebraska Brewing Company over there in La Vista, Nebraska. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with more WTL talking UFC Fight Night. And welcome back to WTL, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran,
the Parlay Pounder.
No doubt about it.
All right, we talked some Major League Baseball, some futures, over-unders, the line adjustments there, All-Star Weekend, so much fun.
It was.
Now let's get into your wheelhouse here.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night.
Yeah.
We're going to kick things off here with the Miner versus the Mauler.
Yes, we're going Alexander Gustafsson versus Nikita Krylov.
The Ukrainian.
Yeah, UFC London. So they're having to travel across the pond. Well, some of them are already over there. Alexander Gustafsson has been one of my favorite fighters in the UFC for a very long time. He's fought everybody in the light heavyweight division. He's fought John Jones. He's fought Jan Blachowicz, he's Glover Teixeira, Anthony Smith, all these guys, Daniel Cormier. So he has been against the best fighters in the world in the lightweight division, in the lightweight division's heyday. It's kind of down right now, and people don't, kind of give it the respect it once had, especially with John Jones moving up to heavyweight. But I really like this guy, and if he is going to revive his career, it has to be this fight. And I really think he can do it. I really think he can do it. The card is not the line is not with him. He is at plus money right now.
I believe that.
Krylov is set at the favorite, and I'm minus 180. But Gustafsson's sitting there right there at a plus 155, which if he was an overall no chance to win, he'd be sitting there at a plus 300 or a plus 250. So I don't think that people the cappers and everything think he's out of this fight.
Yeah. So both these guys are coming off losses. Their last fight.
Yes.
And Gustafsson, the Mauler, your guy here, he's sitting at a record of 18-7, very respectable. The Minor, on the other hand, he is higher ranked.
Yes.
He's the number 11 contender right now.
No doubt about it.
But he's fought a lot more fights, way more tread on the tires here.
Yeah.
27-9 his overall record, the Ukrainian here. And once again, his last fight was a loss. So, and then how those lines are set, you're not too far out of line if you want to lean on lean towards the Mauler here.
Okay. If you're going to be romantic about UFC, this is a tough pick to fight. This is a tough fight to pick. I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that wouldn't want to see, like I said, Gustafsson win this fight. You get his, kind of career back on track.
Right.
And, kind of make one last run for the belt while John Jones is out of the division. It will be hard to pick him over the faster, the more durable Krylov. The one way that Gustafsson can get this win is to get his wrestling involved and control Krylov on the ground. My best bet of this fight is not that Gustafsson will win. If anybody wants some plus money, ding, 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 plus money, pick this fight for over 2.5 rounds. I think it's going to go to the distance. It's a 3-round fight. Over 2.5 at plus 105. I think it's going to hit. Nobody's knocking anybody out in this fight. It's going to go.
That's neither of their styles. Neither one wins by knockout.
Exactly.
And you're looking at average fight times because they do a lot of 5-round stuff, these two guys.
Yes, sir.
It's 11 minutes. It's 10 minutes, 54 seconds for Gustafsson. So
exactly.
Why not? And Krylov is sitting there at 7. I like that. You can talk me into that one.
Yeah. So
anything else there between the Sweden and the Ukrainian?
Obviously, I'm leaning towards Gustafsson just because I want him so bad, but like I said, what I am picking in this fight,
guarded, though.
I might throw it in a parlay, I might not. We'll see by the end of this podcast what I'm doing at the end for my parlay of the week. But
oh boy,
for right now, I'm sitting at that over 2.5 rounds at plus 105. I think it's the best value pick in this fight.
Okay,
and hammer it, guys, because it is going to hit.
All right, now I know you want to talk about Patty Bimblett. Patty the Batty versus Jordan Levitt.
Exactly.
And Levitt sitting out there at plus 210.
Yep.
Patty the favorite at minus 250.
Yeah, exactly. These guys are both up-and-comers. Patty the Batty is marketed as the biggest rising star in the UFC, kind of taking that Sean O'Malley, stardom, Pat the Stardom, Conor McGregor kind of thing.
Okay.
He talks a lot of crap. He gets the headlines. But in his first 2 UFC bouts, he's ended it in the first round. He knocked a guy out and he submitted a guy in the first round. Levitt, kind of the same thing. He only has these guys are brand new. Levitt only has a total of 5 fights in the UFC. And these guys are both very good. I give a slight edge to Patty just because he has a little bit of a ground game that's kind of, people don't talk about it because he talks so much crap about knocking people out.
Dude, he's got his significant strike is off the charts.
Yeah.
He you can see why they don't talk about his grappling.
Exactly. But he's got that little, he does have skill in it, which I think people overlook. And even in his last fight, he got that submission in the first round. So I think what my best bet is, Andy, for plus money again at plus 105 is Patty the Batty to win in under 2.5 rounds.
Well, the Brit, named the Batty.
Yeah.
His first name is Patty. Give me a break. He's also 5'10", nearly 20 pounds heavier than Jordan Levitt. So I that's where I really like that. I always like the guy that has a few more pounds, and he's got a greater reach in both leg and arm. So and he's a favorite for a reason here.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I think you're kind of stretching it if you're going to try and put your money on the Monkey King, Jordan Levitt, the guy out of the United States.
Good nickname in its own right, but he ain't Patty the Batty.
He ain't no Patty the Batty.
I really think Patty's going to take that, but he's sitting at a -235 to win the fight, which isn't the best value. It's pretty good value if you're going to throw that into a parlay with some plus money bets. But my best bet of the night for this fight is Patty to win in under 2.5 rounds, which will hit you with that plus money. So
yeah, his average fight time is low.
It is.
Yeah.
Like we said, he's only fought 2 fights in the UFC, but both have ended in the first round, and I see a little bit of that coming on in this fight.
But his overall record in MMA is 18-3. So he's been around the block.
Oh, no doubt.
It's not like it's new. And Jordan, we're saying he's a new and up-and-comer. UFC-wise, he is.
Yes.
But his overall record in MMA that the UFC recognizes, he's 10-1.
Right.
So that's nothing to sneeze at either. But a couple of young bucks, a couple of up-and-comers. I also kind of like if you want to call it the home field advantage
for
the Batty. I think that's going to play a factor in as well.
Exactly.
All righty, you want to move on to the main card?
I do.
The main event.
It is time. Yep. We got Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall. Heavyweight showdown. These guys are both knocking on the door to try and take take a swing at who's the big guy? Francis Ngannou. I don't know how I could forget about this, but Curtis Blades has beat literally everybody in this division except for Francis Ngannou. This Tom Aspinall comes in with he's the favorite to win this fight.
I know, and he's a lower seed. I mean, he's the number 6 contender. Blades is number 4. Razor. Yeah. And I mean, he's also 16-3 is an excellent record there for Curtis Blades. 12-2 though for Tom Aspinall. Once again from the UK, kind of a home field advantage, if you will, over the American.
Yeah. No. Obviously, the English fighter has the home field advantage here, but I just can't. I can't get on that boat that Blades has not lost to anybody except for Francis Ngannou.
Except for the guy with the belt.
Exactly. He did twice. Aspinall has proven that his power is something to be worried about, but Blades has the overall better fight game, and if he gets this grappling and he gets him on the ground, Blades can prolong this whole fight and kind of put it in his favor to win.
The tail of the tape shows that Blades might have an edge there.
Yes.
On the grappling, the wrestling side of things. But yeah, the significant strikes per minute.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way in Aspinall's favor here, and I think that's why you're seeing him as a favorite. It's at home, and he's probably getting a lot of money put on him in London.
Oh no, no doubt
so
about
it. I think that might have an effect on the book as well.
Well, I really do think that is why that Patty and this guy are big favorites. Patty, obviously, just because he's a big name around everywhere, even though he's only 3 fights into his career. But I really believe this Aspinall is getting the home field advantage, kind of shrug towards his line a little bit.
A little bit of fool's gold, maybe, you're thinking.
It's worth noting that this is the first time in Blades' UFC career that he will be the underdog.
Wow.
It's crazy to me. This fight has a path to become sloppy, Andy. Both men lose their energy quickly and sap their power. But I see that...
Big dude, 6'5", 252 is Aspinall, 6'4", 265 Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
Big guys.
All I'm saying is Aspinall has not been challenged in later rounds of fights. This is a 5-round fight. Blades has proven to be vulnerable against heavy hitters, but if he can prolong this game, he has the better ground game. If he can get into round 3, I think Blades takes this, and I'm loving the plus money on Blades.
I'm going to agree with you. I will agree with you, and I'm looking at this average fight time. Blades, 10 minutes, 14 seconds. Aspinall, under 3 minutes at 2 minutes and 57 seconds. I think that shows you right there that if Blades can just extend this fight, which he's more than capable of doing, he can outlast Tom Aspinall, and he's going to want to dance and stay away from those big shots anyway if he wants to extend this fight, which you kind of figure that's probably part of his plan.
Has to be.
Right?
Has to be.
And then that will also simultaneously open the door for him to get into that grappling game a little bit, try and take a couple shots, shoot in there. So I like the American in this spot too. I think there's going to be a lot of sour pusses there in London after this one wraps up the main card here.
I really do like it. And like we always say every week, Andy, we like the plus money bets. Curtis Blades sitting at a plus 112 to just take this fight outright. I think it's a good bet. But I'll tell you something that's an even better bet, Andy.
Lay it on.
You're going to get the 3-team parlay from Gibran coming right up. I got Curtis Blades sitting at a plus 112 to win his fight. I got Patty, the baddie, winning his fight at a minus 260 on my book. And then I got Alexander Gustafsson to win his fight at plus 170. I'm going to put $30 on this. That's just 10 a fighter.
I know. But you got 2 dogs. You got 2 dogs.
I got 2 dogs. It's only 10 a fighter, $30. That's going to pay us $207. That's returning cash flow.
Ding ding.
So that is my parlay of the week, and I feel pretty good about it.
Hey, you've been hitting these parlays in the UFC, so why not? Hey, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it hot.
But if you guys have been listening, my 2 best bets of the night is that Alexander fight going over the 2.5 rounds and the Patty fight going under the 2.5 rounds. So if you guys are looking for surefire locks, those are my 2 surefire locks of the fight night.
You lock it up.
But if you want to make a little cash, sprinkle it on that parlay.
I like it. And like you said, you're not getting too wild here. You're just putting 10. That's your plan.
10 a fighter.
10 on a fighter here. You do have 2 dogs, though.
Yep.
But you trimmed it down from a parlay a couple weeks ago where you had a 4 leg.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So I like that. You're here. You're like you're steering out of the lane just a little bit, but not as far. You're not all the way in the ditch.
I'm not, and it's not. And like we said, this isn't like these guys are dogs at like plus 250 or plus 300 where that value is going to really jump up. These guys are barely dogs, and I really don't even think Blades should be the dog. So
gotta love it.
Alexander, in my mind, is the only dog.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. That line favorite, they might have the favorite wrong in that the main card there with Blades being the underdog. I will bite on that.
Only time will tell.
All righty, I think that about does it for Where's the Line this week, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Once again, got to say thanks to our sponsor, Nebraska Brewing Company.
No doubt about it.
World class in every glass. We've been sipping on the EOS, their Hefeweizen, all night long.
For sure.
Hey, folks, my name is Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran,
the Parlay Pounder. Once again, thanks for listening.